Hello students, this is MANDEEP for Sohi. Welcome all. Today we are going to start chapter number 5, The Snake and the Mirror from Beehive book, written by Muhammad Bashir. This is a humorous story about a doctor, a snake and a mirror. The story is in narrative form. The writer tells us the story which was told to him by a homeopathic doctor. As the title indicates itself, the snake and the mirror are the two most important things in the story. So let's start. The homeopathy doctor is narrating the story. Actually, writer and his friends were discussing about snakes. Then the doctor narrated his own encounter with a snake. He said, "It was hot summer night, almost 10 o'clock. He was returning home after having his dinner at the restaurant. As the doctor was opening the door of his room, he heard a noise from above. But he did not react because he was used to such noises. Actually, it was the noise of rats. The doctor lived in a small rented room, which was an outhouse. The house was not electrified, so he lighted the kerosene lamp. As he has started his medical practice, he was earning very less. That's why he was living in such a dirty room. He had just 60 rupees in his bag, and he had some shorts and dhotis to wear, and he had black colored coat which he was wearing at the time of incident. He removed his coat, his shirt and his vest, and he said his vest was not very clean, means it was dirty. Then he opened the windows of the room. There were two windows in that room. It was an outhouse. The roof had tiled on it, and gavel was supported by the beams. There was no ceiling inside, so the roof was full of rats that were making noise in the room. Then he set his bed near the wall, and he lay down to sleep, but due to hot he could not sleep. He had gone out to get some fresh air, but he couldn't get. He went back to his room and settled down on the chair. He took a book named Materia Medica from table drawer and placed it on the table, on which stood the lamp, and a large mirror and a small comb lay beside the mirror. As he was sitting in front of the mirror, he looked at his image in the mirror. As he was a young man, he liked to appreciate beautiful things and wanted to improve his look, to look more handsome. He was an eligible bachelor, so he wanted to make people know that he was also available, so he combed his hair. He looked carefully in the mirror and decided to shave daily and grow a thin moustache to look more handsome. Another thing that he decided was that he would always keep smiling. He got up from his chair and started walking up and down in the room, and then he decided to marry a woman doctor who had lots of money and good medical practice. He also added he would marry a fat girl. So there was a reason for that. He said she would not be able to catch him if he made some mistakes and needed to run away. Thinking all these things, the doctor again sat down on the chair. Now the sound had stopped, but all of a sudden something fell down. It felt like some rubber tube, but he ignored it. But as soon the doctor turned, he saw a big snake crawled over the chair and sat on his shoulder. He did not panic, jump, or tremble. The snake moved in such a way that it wrapped itself on the doctor's left arm like a coil. It was just 3-4 inches away from his face. The doctor says that he had not only holding his breath but had turned into a stone, just like a statue. It was all very dark outside as well as inside. Then he started feeling the presence of God. He decided not to speak, lest he should anger the snake. In his heart, he was praying the God. Then his left arm was started paining, as it was wrapped by the snake. He could not do anything to save himself. He knew that if he moved a bit, the snake would attack him. Death was very near to him. Then he thought of medicine, which would save him if the snake bit him. But there was no medicine in his room, so he smiled at his foolishness. He felt that he was a poor, foolish, and stupid doctor. The doctor felt that God appreciated the doctor's realization of his mistake. Something favorable happened and the doctor's life was saved. The snake turned to the other side and saw the mirror. It looked at the mirror and it saw its own reflection in it. He was thinking that maybe it was admiring its own beauty. The doctor imagined that the snake must be imagining different styles like he was thinking few months back when he was looking at his face in the mirror. The doctor did not know whether it was a male or female snake. Then it crawled from his arm and moved down into his lap. From there, it jumped and started crawling over the table. And it started looking at itself in the mirror. Now the doctor no longer a mere statue made of stone. As soon as the snake got down from him, he came back to life. He quietly moved out of the door, jumped from the garden, and ran away. The friends who were listening doctor's story got relieved to know that finally he was saved. From that group asked him whether his wife was fat. He replied that his wife was thin and tall like a reed plant. Doctor said he ran and ran till he reached the friend's house. There he took an oil massage, took baths, and wore fresh clothes. The next morning around 8:30, the doctor along with the two of his friends went to the room to bring his belongings from there. What the room had been cleaned out means someone had stolen most of things from his room. But the thief left the best behind, which was dirty. He thought he did so to insult him. Someone asked the doctor if he saw the snake the next day. He replied, after that night, he never saw that snake. Maybe the snake was attracted toward its own beauty. So students, this is a story about a doctor's encounter with a snake. There is a message in the story. It conveys the message that one should never be proud of one's beauty, strength, or achievements. The fear of death makes a person realize how useless the worldly achievements are. I hope you all understand it. Thank you for watching.